Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Aston Parsons, and this is, of course, Aston's Expressway. And welcome to a very special mukbang today. It's not a Mondeo mukbang, it's not a fabulous Friday feast. It's not a schmuckbang special because really the S word would be completely inappropriate for what today's mukbang is all about. And as some of you have already seen by the thumbnail, this mukbang is a magisterial morning mukbang, and when I say morning I mean with the U, because I thought it would be very nice to do a Queen Elizabeth type dinner and talk a bit about the Queen's passing. Now, as I said, as you're all aware, that Queen Elizabeth II passed away on Thursday, this last Thursday, the 8th of September. And while she was a very old lady at 96, and who had a marvellous full and complete life, it was a massive shock to the nation. And whether people are royalists or republicans or even anarchists, all will agree that, well, many are agreeing that it is a great loss to the nation that she's no longer with us. So, because she died on Thursday, I was a little upset. I'll be honest, I shed a tear. You know, she's an old lady, but you know, it's hit the nation pretty hard. And when the nation hurts, I hurt. I find, you know. So anyway. What I've got for you today, obviously I cancelled what I did plan for Friday, which was the notorious chase for a Chinese takeout. And I was going to do it in a kind of parody style to a famous mukbanger. But to be honest, I felt that it was completely inappropriate for me to do that at that time. And I didn't really have the energy to do that at the time. I've not been sleeping too well this week anyway, you can probably tell by my eyes. But so forgive me if I fall asleep at any moment. But, so I thought I'd do a traditional dinner, and I looked at what the Queen liked to eat, not so much at the fancy buffets and the gala dinners, but when she was at home, and, you know, I read some stuff by some chefs that had cooked for her over the years, and at home she was quite a healthy eater and quite, you know, like the simple things. She liked, you know, I tried, you're looking at chicken, which is something she loved. And I've got some new potatoes and some peas. I couldn't resist some pigs in blankets though. I wanted to keep it simple, so I wasn't going with the stuffing and all the roast trimmings, although we will do that at some time, I assure you. So I had a bit of a fast getting some fish, but we'll talk about that perhaps a bit later, because that involves me getting angry over some parsley sauce with the staff at Aldi. But we shall crack on, because I don't want this to get cold just yet, and we'll just have a bit of a chat about Her Majesty. And yeah, so I'll just say, ladies and gentlemen, the Queen. Thank you. Like I say, I've just got some roast chicken legs. Been baked in the oven. Little salt on, you know, plenty of fat in the roasting pan just to get the full flavour and get it all nice and crispy. And it's looking absolutely brilliant. Do you want to hang on? I'll stop dripping stuff on the carpet, but oh, and I've done it. Yeah. Mmm. I'll just show you. That is sorry, it looks like a burnt offering, and I should have put the pigs in blankets in a bit later, but these are the same chipolatas I showed you the other week with bangers and mash. But they're covered, you can't see because of the gravy, but it's covered in a smoked bacon with lots of streaks of fat, and it's going to be amazing. Mmm. Mmm. That's good. Now, like I said, this isn't a full roast dinner, and I've done new potatoes, so I'm hoping the traditionalists of a chicken dinner won't start the hatred. Well, why are you using new potatoes and you've roasted them? Well, I like to roast new potatoes, and they were pre-seasoned in a pack with lots of lovely butter, so they've absolutely turned out absolutely wonderful. So there you go. Sometimes I like new potatoes with a roast dinner. I like the juiciness and keeping the jacket on. Oh, those are good. Oh, oh, those are good, people. Those are damn good. But how are you guys, by the way? If you're English, I feel the pain that we're all feeling at the moment, and I know that is from all generations, be people of the Queen's age, or I've even seen young children in tears with what's gone on. If you're outside the UK, you're probably thinking, what's all this fuss about? Well, I'm sure you've heard of the Queen. I mean, God, probably the most famous head of state in the last couple of 100 years. You're thinking, oh, you guys are still monarchists, blah, blah, blah. And listen, guys, I'm not going to get into the monarchist, republic, nationalist debates, okay? Because we'll talk about something in a minute, but I just want to get a bit more into the food, and we'll have a little chat. But here's some peas. Now, these are just processed kind of supermarket peas, so they've got them a bit mushy, but I don't mind it my way. Don't you know? I just want to get some more of this chicken in me before it gets cold. That's the trouble. That's the true art my mum taught me about a roast dinner. Well, there's many arts to a roast dinner. You have to cook it well, but if you don't keep it warm till you get it in someone's face, it's annoying. It's annoying. Guys, that chicken skin. I mean, I actually look for chicken breasts with skin still on, but it's more or less impossible today unless you go to a small, independent market in the town centres. The supermarkets either do the breast completely, almost naked, or, the only way to get skin is to buy a full cooked chicken. I didn't really want to do that, really. But no, oh, by the way, I'm just, I'm very fussy on sauces and condiments. My friends call me condiment anal because I'll go around their house, they'll offer me a roast dinner, and let's say they offer me some turkey, and I'll go, or chicken, poultry, and I'll go, any cranberry sauce, the right thing to have with turkey and chicken. Sorry, no. And they go, okay. Then I pull a jar out to the rucksack or something. Because it really gets me. You can have a great cooked dinner, but just to get there, you need some of the magic, the right sauce. And we've all got our preferences, what the right sauce is. I've seen people have applesauce with chicken, which is, I've done it once, but my basic rules with roast dinners, and if you're a bit new to roast dinners, is very simple. And there's a special condiment that is best and unique to each type of roast dinner. Like I say, chicken or turkey, poultry, not so much duck and the darkened poultries, but the white meats, cranberry sauce, jelly, whatever you want to call it, is the right meat. Now with beef, there's two. One's a backup if I haven't turned up with one at someone's house and they're having beef. Roast beef, horseradish, it's just perfect. It's just perfect. But if your host has run out of horseradish and you're not condiment anal and brought your own condiments, mustard will do fine. Okay, but it's horseradish for the 400 points. Going to be getting stuck in a bit here, guys, but I want to get as much down before it gets cold, you know. As always, guys, hope you guys are having something nice today. I mean, it's Sunday. If you're British, you may be having a little roast dinner too. But whatever you're eating, as long as you're enjoying it, even if it's a lentil salad, good luck to you. You know, good on you. Let me know below as usual, guys, because I'd love to hear what you're eating. That is good. Oh, that's a good piece of chicken. It's a nightmare when you are cooking anything roast chicken wise, is you like to get the skin crispy, so sometimes separating it and cutting it can be a bit of an art, bit of a balancing act. This is a good meal, folks. I made a good choice. I was a bit upset on... I was going to do this Friday night, but with the fast that went on, I'm not talking about the Queen stuff, I'm talking about things that happened to me on a Friday. By the time I had got the food back and everything, I was just knackered, guys. It was too late, and I was just like, I hadn't been sleeping, and I've got a big piece of gravy in the middle of my mouth. But I wasn't up for doing it. So, if you're missing the fabulous Friday feast, I do apologise, guys, but it just wasn't appropriate. And not the style I'm going to do it this coming Friday, which it will finally happen, the Chinese. But no, I tried to go to a supermarket called Aldi, which I'm normally a Tesco shopper, but I've been experimenting lately. And I wanted, I was looking at the Queen really she liked just a simple piece of Dover sole or some plain cod with some parsley sauce. I thought, oh, brilliant, I haven't done that in ages. I mean, to be honest, it's a nightmare buying fish in this country, unless you've got big dollar to get high quality stuff. And to be honest, see, fish is something that is one of the worst things to buy. I mean, you can get away with some meats being a bit at the end of their life, depending how you flavour it all, but fish has to be spot on, and it needs to be fresh, otherwise I'm like, ugh, no, not going there. This is so good. Anyway, guys, so I go to Aldi, and I'm looking at the fish counter, and they didn't have a bad selection, but everything was so pathetic for the money. I mean, like £4 or $4.50 for a couple 100 grams of a rather wimpy and almost anorexic cod. I'm like, well, I found a decent cod, and I put it in my basket first of all, and I thought, well, what are you going to do with it? Because, if I'm eating fried fish from the chip shop, you can put tomato sauce or, chilli sauce, which fish is actually lovely. But I love chilli sauce. But when it's plain cod, There's only a couple of sauces that I like a hollandaise or a parsley sauce mix, you know, like the dry mixes, the Swartzes. But, Aldi's so basic. I mean, I don't consider a parsley dry sauce mix or a hollandaise mix to be exotic that I have to run off to Waitrose or M&S, but according to Aldi stock levels, yes you do. We're not doing anything fancy like that here, pal. So, like I said, I put the cod in my basket, but then I'm like, oh, this fish looks pathetic. It's the best I could pick off. And I saw this chicken legs with skin on. And I thought, well, I read as well that the Queen liked a bit of chicken, you know, with just some potatoes and some peas or some other veg, some asparagus. I say asparagus versus peas. I mean, I had peas in stock, but I looked at the asparagus because I haven't had them in ages. I was going to pan fry them, you know, in some butter. Because that's quite nice. You've got to get them right. They've got to be fresh too, otherwise when they go leathery, ugh. But at that price, even in Aldi, no, I wasn't buying that. Not for you, horrible lot, anyway. Just kidding. So, yeah. So, ingredients. I mean, the silly thing was, I actually popped into a Spar petrol station after going later, and this is what Spar are great at. They're only a convenience store, but one of the things is being there for like all the ingredients, and just walk straight in. I mean, I was searching around Aldi's for ages. I had to get a member of staff involved in everything, and I walked straight to my local Spar petrol station. Yep, hollandaise sauce, parsley sauce. There you go. I mean, the prices. Spar petrol stations and convenience stores are great for that. Late at night. Oh, I've got this dinner, but I've forgotten this sauce, you know, the little condiment, and, you know, Aston's coming round and he's going to get angry with me. Well, yeah, they've always got it there, whatever condiment or little sauce, as long as it's not very rare, you know, like snail snot sauce or something. But they charge for it. They know how desperate you are when you're shopping for stuff like sauces in Spar. Because you normally buy that on your supermarket run, so you normally wouldn't do it. No, I'm glad I went for chicken. It's bloody taste. I mean, I like fish, but there's only certain fish I'll eat. And anything that's messy with bones, no. I like the taste of shellfish, but I won't eat anything that's still looking back at me from the plate. You know, and I hate messing with skeletons and ripping claws apart, and there's all the crap in their backpipe. Oh no. So I've never actually had lobster. I watched my dad eat a few lobsters, but I've never actually tasted lobster because of that factor. So apparently the answer is something like a lobster thermidor, where it's all like filleted and put in a sauce is the way for me to go. But I'm just a poor schmuck, so I don't have that kind of money in restaurants, crikey. Oh God, this is so good. I hope what you're eating today is as good as this. Because, again, I said this the other time, it sounded a bit arrogant, but, you know, this is my second cook deal I do for you guys, and I don't often cook because I live on my own and I get frustrated making something complex and then I'm not hungry. So I don't cook a lot, although I can, and like I said last time, sounds arrogant, but yeah, I'm good when I try. My mum taught me very, very well. Yeah, Lizzie, she'd have liked this, she'd have enjoyed this. So I suppose some of you, if you're watching from abroad, thinking, here we go, another stuff-ass Brit, to quote a phrase from a Bond film, going on about Her Majesty, and you know, we're probably a hard right-wing nationalist, you know, a bit of a fascist and all that. But that's simply not the truth with me, guys. I'm not very nationalistic. I actually believe in a world without borders. And God, that's going to get the critics going. Yeah, I'm not left or I'm not right. I actually go on about this. In other things I've done, I'm a progressive. I like the best policy forward, be it a left policy or right policy. I'm not bothered as long as it's the right one. So I'm not a nationalistic right winger, but I suppose you could say I'm not an extreme monarchist. At times I've thought, oh, this is too expensive. We don't need this. But am I against the monarchy? No, I'm not. I think now the Windsor brand, as their surname is one of the best international brands, like Nike or Hugo Boss or, you know, Range Rovers or Bentleys. It's an amazing brand that brings, personally, I think it brings many times the money we pay on it, you know, as taxpayers for the monarchy, to the UK. You know, it's the Queen and the family. I mean, look at America. I mean, there's many people watch the Harry and Meghan interview as watch the Super Bowl. And the bizarre thing is, as a Brit, is you guys, like, you know, kind of stuck the daggers in the king, said, screw you guys, and walked off over 200 years ago. And yet here you are, absolutely besotted with the royal family. And don't tell me you're not, because you are. The statistics say you are. I'm not one of these, you know, you won't find my kitchen full of Princess Diana mugs or this memorabilia. But I like the Queen. And this is the thing, that even not so royalist people like the Queen, because the way she did her job and the way she did it so consistently for so many years. I mean, how many people do you know that, I mean, it's rare these days, job for life all the way through, but even with the job for life, 70 years of service. I mean, she was 25, wasn't she, when her father died? And she took on a role that she knew that there's no way off the job till she died, till what happened back on Thursday. And she conducted herself with the same ethics from the start in 1952 up until, you know, a sad demise on Thursday. And this is to do with what we are in England is a constitutional monarchy, which is kind of, it's a bit strange, we don't have a written constitution, but it's kind of ruled by the monarch by decree, i.e. there's democracy involved as well, and the Queen doesn't get involved in the politics of this or that or left or right. I mean, as you probably know, one of her last functions was greeting the Ice Queen. I call her the Ice Queen, Liz Truss. But she'd met 15 prime ministers, from, you know, Churchill to Thatcher. Well, they had a bit of that was a tricky relationship. Who's the top dog woman there, I tell you. That was interesting in the 80s. I remember it well, even as a younger. Through to Blair, had to suffer the drivelness of Theresa May, poor woman, and that dour Scotsman Brown. Oh, good God, what an awful man. Awful dour man. Thank God he went as soon as the election could make him. But no, she played a smart game. Everything she did and said, whether she's at home or around the world. I'm just looking at my clock because that's going to tick out in a minute. But every card she would play, she'd say the right thing to the right people. You know, share her experience and knowledge of meeting like every world leader you can think of. But, you know, give a suggestion, but not an opinion or a command. And which gained her a lot of respect. But I won't lie, it's hit the nation very hard. And one of the things to do with that is it's not because she was no, it's not because, you know, I mean, she was 96. I mean, she'd had a great life, you know. I don't think people were crying so much about the fact that she died. I mean, no one lives forever, do they? You know, and she'd had a good innings. And she'd clearly done her job. The thing is, it was because she was such a fabric, almost like the mother or the grandmother of the nation, that people, you know, it hit them hard. I mean, you have to be over well, really, I suppose you have to be over 70 odd, if you didn't remember who was king and queen as a child, to know anyone else. I mean, when I actually saw on the screen, you know, His Majesty King Charles, I was like, what? What? I'm 48, I'm not... Of course, I've studied kings and queens, but, you know, to see it written down, not a queen. And the consistency of her always being there. I mean, if you... Right, Christmas Day in the Queen's speech was the only time of the year she'd actually specifically, you'd know when she'd address the nation. Okay, she'd do speeches at gala dinners and charity things, but when she talked to the nation was once for about 10-15 minutes on a Christmas Day, normally about 3 p.m. And I'm 48, I've not done a Christmas without a Queen's speech. It's just, I mean, in my house with my family and with myself, you know, when I just do Christmas, you know, it's a late lunch, and but it's not complete, you know, without having you been a Majesty at 3 p.m. It's just not. And this, like, unbeknown to people, even people aren't that into the royal family, it's like losing, it's hard to describe really. It is like using a moment, it's the consistency of her reign. And that she was always there, and she was always serving the British people. And yeah, you could say, oh, you know, you're giving her credit, and, you know, she had all this money, houses, cars, ships. Well, yeah, she didn't have a hard life. I mean, you know, she was a mechanic in the First World War before she met Philip and got married, but she was doing official duties to the very last day. I mean, like I say, she swore in the Ice Queen, Liz Truss, which, I'm sorry, she's an awful woman. I mean, I might put a clip in, but her, you know, the mother of the nation is dead speech from Downing Street was abysmal. It was so cold and ice and staring at the camera. I mean, she might as well have said, you know, look, well, I'm the only queen now, so she's dead, nah. She did it so badly, it was horrendous. I wasn't a big Bojo fan, I'm not a Tory supporter, but I should have left Boris a little bit longer, he'd have done a lot better with that one. But I mean, at first, when I saw the Queen was dead a couple of days after, you know, shaking the Ice Queen's hand, I thought, oh my God, bloody Trush, she's gone and overchocked the Queen, you know. But no, I don't think that was the case. No, she was a good lady. She knew what to say and when to say it. Apparently, I mean, she knew everything that went on in Britain for all those years because she'd sign every Parliament Act over, you just have to sign it off. I mean, she could. This is about constitutional monarchy. I don't think she actually refused any things once they'd gone for Parliament and the House of Lords. That was, well, that's what's been decided, you know. But she could have turned her nose up at many things. She could have got involved in recent events like Brexit and you know, certain political things, and she could have given her opinion, and Charles did, you know, and stuff has been known to, but no, she wouldn't. And she kept to the script for 70 whole years, and she gains my respect for that. I mean, she wasn't a meddling monarch, you know. And I won't accept anyone saying she was, because there's no evidence of that. Just did a job. Just an honourable lady who did a job. Job she didn't have a choice about. So I'll say for another time, ladies and gentlemen, the Queen, Her Majesty. And also I'll tip my glass to the King, which is still strange to say. So King Charles III, you've got to, you know, the game's been set, hasn't it really? You've got a lot to live up to here, pal. I mean, Charles is the age of my father, you know, he's 73 or 74, but they're about the same age. So he's not going to do 70 years, obviously. But he'll put in a decent innings, and to be honest though, William and Catherine are so popular. I mean, I don't know, at some point in the near future he might just abdicate, because, I mean, William's 30 years younger, isn't he, or something? I mean, he's going to, is it 40 years younger? No, 30 odd. He's could be in for a long reign, so it might make more sense to hand over the reins pretty quickly to him. And he's, again, William's and Catherine are great, what's the right word, ambassadors for the Windsor brand, especially their popularity in America and around the world. I've surprised myself here. I didn't think I'd eat this much. Because like I said, I haven't been too well. I have lots of sleep problems, but I'm not going to go on that today. But I have really, really enjoyed this, and it's been great talking to you as well. And again, I apologise for the first time since the series began 5 weeks ago. There was no Fabulous Friday feast, but I'm sure you understand now I've explained. And that will be back on Friday. We'll be having my Chinese favourites on Friday, and we'll have a bit of a laugh as well, I think. All in jest though, not in hatred. It's very important before I do this. In jest and not in hatred. I am taking this baby to the bone, aren't I? So anyway, guys, yeah, this is a morning mukbang, because I'm still pretty cut up about it, as are a lot of people here. I mean, you're welcome to leave your opinions, guys, below about what your feelings are. You know, whether you're in sympathy, or, you know, I mean, if you want to say you hated the Royals, well, you can talk to your opinion. But just remember, whatever you think of the Queen, she was still a human being. If you didn't like her, yeah, you know, just be respectful, please. Okay, guys. You know, someone who's dedicated their life to this nation has died. So I don't really expect people to really start with the nasty stuff or the conspiracy crap either. I'm not having any of that, I'm telling you either. Anyway, nice face back up. So I hope you've enjoyed this Majestic Mourning Mukbang. And yeah, I've enjoyed the food. I hope you have too. I'll be doing another, obviously, you know, the other side of my channel, although it's still under development. I'm not doing a lot of classic car stuff, but I want to do a little series, a little documentary on the Queen's cars, because like me, the Queen was she loved her cars. She always loved her cars, and you know, I've got a story actually about my family's link with in a component company that used to supply a lot of parts into specialist cars. I've I've held the Queen's car doorknobs in my own hands. That's my claim to association with royalty. But we'll talk about that another time. I'll go through some of her most famous and beloved motors. And it's not just all Phantom 7 limousines. There's lots of other more people's cars that her and the royal family loved as well. So I know you guys, the mukbang crew, and some of you, probably most of you, are not into cars, but if you are, look out for a kind of special on Queen Elizabeth's cars. Well, I'll be talking a bit about that. So guys, I'm just going to have another mouthful of chicken because it's getting cold now. So, well done, well. So I was just doing a kind of outro there, and then have a piece of chicken. But I'm a schmuck. That's what I do. So guys, it's Sunday today. Hopefully this will be out later this evening once I've done the usual editing and messed around with the thumbnail. But I'll actually be doing another one tomorrow because of course tomorrow is as usual the Monday Mondeo mini mukbang. And just as a heads up, we're off to another franchise tomorrow. But a franchise that's more or less, I think so, it might have some offshore branches, but a pure British franchise that's mainly unavailable in this Britain, which is the only one I can think of actually, which is Greggs the Bakers. I'll be going to my local Greggs the Bakers and trying some of their popular treats, some of their mainstream treats. Not a lot, guys, I don't overdo it, do I, on the Monday mukbangs. Oh, excuse me. So that's tomorrow, and of course, as I've already mentioned several times, you get bored, but it will be a fantastic, fabulous Friday feast this coming Friday, so please join me for that. And like I say, for a third, final time, ladies and gentlemen, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, an honourable lady and a dedicated lady, and God save the King. So, yeah. So, guys, if you're mourning, I understand. I've been very sad myself. But she had a good life and she served us well. I'm talking to more as English people now, but, I know how you feel. And I really do know how you feel. And I hope this mukbang has not been disrespectful in any way to her. I really hope. So please leave your comments below, whatever you feel, but please be respectful, folks. I can't emphasise that enough. And we'll see you tomorrow. Aston Parsons. For Aston's Expressway, as always. Over and out.